Hello, everyone. I'm coming to you from Busch Gardens, which you can hear behind me. My name is Dr. Tim Miller. I'm the Vice President of Student Affairs. I'm going to pass it off to the students to introduce themselves while I wait for this sound to pause. So let's go in order. Go ahead, students.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chloe Banaszak. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a sophomore, double theater and psychology major with a minor in honors. I am also involved in Greek life on campus, as well as a service organization called Dukes for Dogs, and student ambassadors, and I am from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Edwards. I use she, her pronouns. I am a senior health sciences major, political science minor from Chesapeake, Virginia. I am involved in a lot here on campus. I am a part of the Madison Society, which is a club here that starts traditions on campus, like the Spirit Rock. I am a part of the Student Advisory Board with Dr. Miller, as well as one of his student assistants. I am also a part of the walking club here.
Hi everyone, my name is Isabella Antoon. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a sophomore health sciences major with minors in pre-physician assistant studies and honors. I'm from Oceanport, New Jersey, so the Jersey Shore area. And then I'm involved in student ambassadors, which are the tour guides here on campus, student government, and the pre-PA club.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Snyder. I use she, her pronouns. I am currently in my master's program here in the Master's in the Art of Teaching for Elementary Education. I did my undergrad at JMU as well. I am from Haymarket, Virginia, which is in Northern Virginia. And during my time in undergrad, I was involved in SAI and KDP, which are some of our professional fraternities here on campus. I am involved in the Student Advisory Board, and I am currently a hall director on campus as well.
Hi all, I'm Ronan Kilrain. I'm a sophomore from Loudoun County, Virginia. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm a justice studies major with minors in sociology and creative writing, and I'm involved in the student ambassadors.
All right, I'm going to start with the first question, which was the moment that I knew I was going to come to JMU. It's a weird story. I came here to the Valley on a tour in a totally different school about 15 minutes south of here from Harrisonburg, because I was convinced I wanted to go to a small school. Toured it with my mom, hated it, and for us from Chesapeake, the Valley is like 4 hours away. And so my mom was like, well, we drove all this way, we might as well see what other schools are around, we don't want to waste the day. And realized that JMU was right up the road. And I was like, well, it's the only bigger school I had applied to, because now I consider JMU like a medium-ish school. And I was like, okay, we might as well see. And we talked to one of my friends that was here, and he was like, oh my gosh, yes, come, and I'll drive you around, take you everywhere on campus. I came, and I don't know, something about having my friend there with me, seeing the mountains, seeing the community that was here at JMU, the facilities, it was just incredible. And I don't know, I just got that weird feeling that people always talk about, when you put on a wedding dress and that's the one. This was kind of the thing. I walked around, I was like, yeah, JMU's for me. And it was just really exciting. And I never regretted the choice coming here. Everyone is so nice. And yeah, I just love JMU.
For me, my moment that I knew that JMU was right for me, I also applied to a ton of schools when I was deciding where I wanted to go, all within Virginia. So I wanted to stay in state, but I was really looking at our 5-year master's program that we had within the state. And I knew that was something that was a deciding factor for me for JMU, because I really wanted to do my grad work here as well. And when I finally got on campus and I saw how beautiful it was, and how kind all the people were, holding doors and saying thank you, and just being so friendly to someone that wasn't even a student here yet, I knew that was really the place that I wanted to go.
I can share. So I had a very similar experience. I came from a super small town. My graduating class of high school had 40 students in it. So I was pretty sure that I wanted to go to a smaller university, but my parents kind of forced me to look at every school up and down the East Coast. So when we came to JMU, I kind of had that experience of getting that really personalized tour, and I really saw the sense of community that JMU had, and I felt a part of campus even before I enrolled as a student. But the solidifying moment for me was at the end of my tour. My mom went up and was talking to the tour guide that gave us one of our tours that day, and she offered to have lunch with us. So that was just a really personalized step that they took to reach out to us and make us feel comfortable, and get to have that like one-on-one conversation that I didn't have an opportunity to do at any other school. And I'm actually still in contact with her today.
All right. The first question is from Ryan, who said, has anyone done an alternative spring break? Now, I personally have not done an alternative spring break. However, I did work in our community service learning office for a semester. Gosh, that was last year now. And working with them in that job specifically, I was put in a nonprofit here in the area. It was about 25 minutes north in Newmarket. And just working with that office and knowing what they do for our community, and growing student leaders. I know this past fall break right now, because we're actually on it right now, they went to Asheville, North Carolina, and a couple other places, doing all types of work, whether it be environmental sustainability or building houses for people in need. They do all types of things. So I highly recommend going on their website for all of their details to see exactly what they have in store. Let's see. Question number 2. Madeline asked, do you have any tips for out-of-state students? So Chloe, do you want to take that one?
So I'm from Kentucky, like I said before, and that's pretty far. None of my friends even heard of JMU when I applied. My biggest tip for you would just be to join organizations, the ones that you're like very passionate about. We always have a student organization night at the beginning of every semester, which is really great to see all the different orgs that we have on campus. And that's really where you're going to meet your people, because especially with like freshman year, your classes may be a bit bigger. It's harder to meet people or like make as good friendships. But organizations are really where you're going to want to meet people, and those will become your lifelong friends. So.
I can touch on it a little too. Sorry. I'm out of state as well. I'm from New Jersey. I'm about 6 hours away from home here. I would say, other than getting involved on campus, another important thing is just try and stay on campus. The first semester is super, super hard for everyone, whether you're coming from an hour away or 6 hours away. So one of the best pieces I got, one of the best pieces of advice that I got when I was coming in as a freshman was to just try and stick it out and avoid going home those first few weeks, because that's when you really are going to meet the most people and you're going to adjust. And I know it seems like it's going to be this like crazy, scary process, but everyone's really in the same boat, no matter if you're coming from 15 minutes away or across the country. We're all new here and we're all learning to make new friends and build new bonds. So don't really worry if you're from far away.
All right, great. Can you all hear me? All right, great. Sorry, I was there and a concert broke out. So we want to take a question from Danielle about majoring in theater. Can someone talk to us a little bit? Chloe, can you talk about theater and that process?
So I forget how it was for JMU specifically, but I know a lot of them, you would submit pre-screens. And so for me, that was videos of me doing my monologues and my songs and everything. With JMU, I'm not sure if they did pre-screens, but then I did come to campus for one day, spent about 8 hours here, just because I was doing musical theater and theater. And you come in, and if you're in musical theater, you'll do a dance call, and then you will go into a private room for both musical theater and theater. You'll sing or do your monologues. With theater, they worked with me on my monologue, workshopped it a little bit, just really tried to like help me figure out what I was doing with it. And then I think a month and a half later, something like that, I got the email that I had gotten in, things like that. It's a pretty basic audition process. There's no interviews because the audition kind of is like an interview for you. But yeah, I would just check that out. There's everything on getaccepted.com. I remember I had to, accepted.com. I used that a bunch my senior year. So yeah.
Great. Thanks, Chloe. Now let's move on to S. Burns has a question about minors. Seems like everyone has a few minors. Can you all talk about how manageable that is? Are double majors also common? Emily, can we start with you on that question?
Yeah, I can definitely help with that. So I did my undergraduate work at JMU before starting my master's here. And when I was in my undergrad, I actually had 2 minors. So I minored in history and I minored in elementary education, my major as well with that. So I think it's pretty manageable, and really our advisors here on campus will do anything they really can to be able to help you make those types of things happen if that's something that you want to look into. So double majoring, I had a lot of friends that were double majors. I had a lot of friends that had multiple minors, whether it was 2 or even 3. A lot of the stuff can also double count for things. So a lot of the things that I could count for my interdisciplinary liberal studies major, I could also count for my minors in history as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely look at the website at some of our classes that we have. And if you're interested here, you can ask your advisor and things like that as well.
The other thing I would just note and add to that is a lot more students are coming with credits already. So that has helped students be able to take on other majors and other minors. So let's have Kayla and Ronan both answer this next question from Mara. What is the best thing about JMU? Why don't we start with Kayla, then Ronan?
Yeah, I just think that JMU, I don't know, my favorite thing probably has to be like all the traditions we have. I feel like there's a lot of like little things that just like make JMU really cool and fun. Like our Spirit Rock, how you can just go up and paint things on it. Like we promote events on it, or if you just want to draw a smiley face on it, you can do that too. Streamers at the football games, like just something that makes JMU really cool. And I think that's my favorite part. And like, honestly, the best part about being here. And also like that builds a community. Like they go hand in hand, in my opinion. Because everyone knows what JMU is about. And so you automatically, if you walk past someone with a JMU shirt on, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like you're from JMU, you already know what's up. Like you already have an instant connection, because there's just something about the traditions and like the community that we build specifically here that's very different than any other institution I've ever been at.
Yeah, no, my answer is pretty much on the same lines as that. It's definitely the community. That's the best thing about JMU. The people within, the JMU community. There's never an instance where you feel like you can't talk to someone, go up to someone. You can go up to professors, advisors, even Dr. Tim Miller whenever you need to, and you can talk to them whenever.
So does anyone have anything they want to add on Michael's question? What's something about JMU that makes it unique? I think the best parts of it are also the things that are unique, but anyone want to jump in and add anything to that?
It's sort of random, I guess, but something that came to mind for me was some of our like tradition meals. But like on Friday, we always have this thing called buffalo mash, which is like a tradition now, and all the students love it. We have like grilled cheese Thursday and chicken nugget Thursday. So I personally love those types of things in terms of like what makes JMU unique in that aspect, is that we always carry little tiny traditions like Kayla was saying. But for me, it's the food. The food traditions are my favorite.
All right, so let's have a couple of you help us out with the next question, which is about study abroad and honors. Looks like we got a couple people. Emily did, and then is it Chloe who's about to? So can you all tag team that one?
Yeah, so I actually studied abroad for a semester back in 2019. I did a semester in London, which is actually part of the School of Media Arts and Design program. But we have a lot of different semester trips you can take. We also have break trips that you can take, as well as summer trips that you can take. And there's ones for all majors. So while I wasn't even in the School of Media Arts and Design, I'm part of the College of Education. I really was interested in the semester in London. So if you're really interested in another type of major trip, your advisors and the colleges here will help you to be able to go on those types of trips as well. And I'm a grad student and I still can study abroad. So in January, I'll even be doing a winter study abroad in which I can teach in Northern Ireland. So you can have multiple experiences, whether that's something that you want to do a long-term one, like a semester, or just a couple weeks, like a winter term.
Yeah, so I'm as Dr. Tim Miller said, I'm studying abroad next semester. I'm doing a 6-month study abroad at Oxford University. And so that's going to be really exciting for me. But with that, talk about the honors college. So the honors college does have some specific like study abroads that you will go through them to do, and that's what I'm doing this Oxford one through. And the honors college is basically just like more people to reach out to on campus. I absolutely love the honors college. They give me more opportunities that I never thought I needed and things like that. They give me more advisors to talk to really help me figure out how to do a double major, a minor, and studying abroad. And so the honors college is basically like right centered in campus, like the actual building itself. And it's just a great place to learn more about JMU, like a deeper kind of small community. And they just offer some really great opportunities.
All right, so let's move on to our next question. We're going to have Kayla answer JJ's question about what is campus life during weekends? Do students generally stay on campus during weekends or tend to go home? So JJ's question, Kayla?
Yeah, so most of the time, mostly like freshmen live on campus. So a lot of basically everyone else lives off, but right near campus, like within a 5 to 10 minute radius. And so a lot of times like people hear that and they're like, oh my gosh, like no one's ever there on campus, it's dead. And that's just not the case. So I mean, yes, people go home, but it's not like, it's like, oh, I have something to do at home, so I'm gonna go home for the weekend. It's not like, okay, it's the weekend, I'm going home. There's always something to do, whether it be within an organization or a university program board. Football games right now, it's fall, so like football's in full throttle. Like there's always something to do, and also not even just on campus. Like Harrisonburg itself is an amazing place to be, and not even just Harrisonburg. If you're in the Shenandoah Valley, so there's mountains everywhere, there's trails everywhere. If that's your thing, there's a river literally every corner. There's always something to do. So most people don't go home. It's just like people aren't around sometimes because like they're out hiking or something like that. It's not that they're like, oh, JMU's boring, so we go home.
And then Isabella, can you go a little farther with Julie's question specifically about how long people live on campus, how many years, and what your experience is with that?
Yeah, of course. So I would say it's pretty much a personal choice. If you're interested in living on campus for all 4 years, JMU does give you that opportunity to do so. And a lot of students do choose to stay all 4 years on campus. It's a beautiful place to live, so why not do it? Personally, for me, I chose to move off campus after my freshman year and live in an apartment, which is about 5 minutes off campus. I just was able to do that with a few friends. That was just a personal choice, but a lot of people do choose to stay on campus for all 4 years. They can stay in dorm style. We also do have apartments that are located like 2 minutes off our campus that are run through our JMU housing. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, you have the opportunity to do so. And if it's something that you're not interested in doing, we have a lot of great off-campus apartment housing options as well.
It sounds like he's buffering a little bit, so I'll just field that. So our next question is from Julie. It's does Greek life dominate the social scene? And the answer is definitely no. Greek life is about 20% of our students. So, you know, it is prominent and it's there. However, there's so many other things that you guys can do on campus or off campus, as Kayla was mentioning. You know, we live in a beautiful area. There's a lot of things to do. But, you know, within any organization that you join, they're going to have events, and campus holds events often as well. You know, football games are huge right now. So, you know, thousands of students are coming together to go to those as well.
Well, I guess I can just help say what the next question is, since Dr. Miller is having a little bit of trouble, which is totally fine. So our next question is, what is one thing that you wish prospective students knew about JMU that's not obvious from the website? Something that first came to mind for me was definitely like our Dukes hold doors kind of slogan. In that aspect, it's more of like a campus culture kind of thing rather than just like something that we promote all over on our websites. It's more about the students and how friendly they are, in my opinion. Just walking around campus, like people smile at you, and you can even tell like if people have masks on, you know, everybody's still smiling, saying hi, really friendly. If there's people on the quad, people will let you like pet their dogs and stuff. Like everyone's just really kind and friendly, which I'm sure you hear at every place, but at JMU it's just a totally different scene in terms of like Dukes hold doors. So if you're walking into a resident hall or you're walking into one of our academic buildings on campus, people will always hold the door for you and just smile and say thanks. So it's really, that was something that was super big for me, that I love here on campus.
Yeah, so the next question is from Danielle. What don't you like about JMU, or what could JMU do better? First, I want to go out by saying every institution has its pros and cons, and you've probably, if you're looking at this virtual open house, you've definitely looked at other schools that have had their ups and downs. If you're crazy like I am, I literally made a pro con list for all 10 of the schools I applied to. And one of the things that I think still sticks out to me is obviously, like, a lot of people talk about our parking. Yes, parking sucks everywhere, no matter where you are at any school. But for me, as a person of color, I looked at our diversity rates, and I know that's a big turnoff for a lot of people, because it was for me. That was like one of the only things on my con list of JMU. However, I have found communities where I found people that look like me, that have the same background as me, and that we can get along. And you find your little circles, and it's not as big of a deal as like I know I made it out to be. And JMU is definitely working on it a lot more, I feel like, than a lot of other places. And I know, like, for example, I work for Dr. Miller, and I wouldn't be working there if I felt like it wasn't a safe space or they weren't listening to me, especially as a woman of color. So that's something that I feel like they really value and are actually working on. So even your cons, schools are working on it, whether it be here at JMU or somewhere else. So don't let that be a turnoff.
So our next question comes from Ryan, and he says, if you have the unlimited meal plan, can you bring a Tupperware for a late night snack, or is that frowned upon? And I'm gonna let Isabella take this one over.
So we do have all you care to eat dining halls that you can use your meal plan to get into and stay for as long as you want within their hours, but they do not allow you to take Tupperware inside. They prefer if you eat the food while you're in there. However, if you're looking for a late night snack, JMU has so many amazing dining options that are open later than the dining halls. So if you are looking for a late night snack, you can get it somewhere that you don't have to take Tupperware into the dining hall to get the food out. You can just go somewhere else. Also, all, if not most, I'm pretty sure, of our residence halls do have vending machines. So I know when I was a freshman and needed a late night snack, that's where I would go, because the vending machine, we had multiple in my dorm, so we always had all kinds of different snacks.
Alrighty, our next question is from Maxine, and it is, can freshmen have a car on campus? I think Chloe's got the answer to this.
So most freshmen actually do not have cars on campus. It's only in very specific circumstances. But that's okay, because like Isabella talked about earlier, most freshmen live on campus. And as we said, like, Harrisonburg is a very tight-knit community, and everything is kind of very close by. And our bus system actually will take you off campus to any of the apartment complexes that are nearby, the mall, Walmart, things like that, to like get what you need. A lot of things are within walking distance. I know I would walk to Walmart to get groceries every like 3 weeks last year when I lived on campus in a different place. But yeah, Most freshmen don't have cars, but that's totally fine because you don't miss out on anything. You'll make upperclassmen friends who have cars, or, the buses will get you literally anywhere you need, or you can walk. We also have little electric scooters. So if you really don't want to walk, you can totally take that into town. But yeah, most freshmen don't have cars, but they don't need it.
Yeah, there's also options, if you're traveling from home. I know Isabel's from New Jersey. There's like a Facebook page that you can join called Safe Rides. And it's basically like if someone's going to New Jersey this weekend, I can pitch in for gas money. I'm headed that way as well.
So question number 15 is from Casey. There are a lot of research opportunities available to students, and is it easy to get involved? Yes and yes. I'm health sciences major, so I'm not particularly in a lot of like what people think are like research opportunities. You may think of like STEM, like biology, things like that. But there's research opportunities in literally almost every department. You just have to talk to a professor. Almost all of them are doing research. It's just a matter of getting to know your professors and what their interests are. And if that's something that you think you'd be interested in, ask them about it. And if they can't help you directly, they know someone that can help you get involved in it. I have a friend that's actually biology pre-veterinarian science, and her professor was like, I have a bunch of horses, come to my farm 15 minutes up the road and I can teach you more about horses, because she wasn't very comfortable with them. And so she's literally going there like twice a week, helping out taking care of horses in her undergrad, which is something that a lot of people can't speak for, especially in their undergrad for that type of study. So it's mainly just about getting involved, getting to know your professors and what they're interested in, and just being able to like reach out, knowing that it's okay to reach out to them and ask them about it.
So our next question is from Alexa, and they ask, what is the best class that you've taken at JMU so far? And for me, that was one of my gen eds, actually, which was life and environmental science. I think it's ISci 173, but I took it specifically for teachers. And I loved that class, which I'm sure education classes are a little bit different than some other people's majors and stuff like that. But I was able to go on field trips. So we took trips to the Arboretum, which is actually right on our campus, right past East Campus. And we were able to look at all the different plants that they had in there and stuff like that. We also were able to take trips to the planetarium that we have here on campus as well, be able to get some astronomy shows, which was really cool. And we also went around the local Harrisonburg area to be able to see some of the local farms and things of that sort, and learn more about the city life that they have here in Harrisonburg, and what some of the people that are locals, what their lives are like here. And I really like that as someone that's going into education, to know like what our local area is like, especially for the students in that area as well.
All right, well, I'll see if this will work this time. Sorry again, folks. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm at Busch Gardens for a JMU event today, and the room I'm in that I thought was good turned into a concert. So I apologize for the disruption. We have a few more questions that we want to get through here and make sure you all can get your answers from this great panel of students. So I want to see if, Jill has a question about what would you say to someone who categorizes JMU as a party school? And why don't we start with Kayla there, and we'll see if anyone else wants to weigh in.
Yeah, so I remember when I applied to JMU and I was like telling my high school teachers I was applying, they were like, oh my God, it's such a party school. And I was like, but what is the definition of a party school? And came here, and yes, there are parties, and yes, Greek life is very active, but it's not the only thing here. And it's also not just Greek life that has parties. Like, I know that's like another general assumption that like, oh my gosh, like since it's a party school, Greek life is really active and things like that. One, it's not just Greek life. And two, it's not the only thing you have to do on campus. And I honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even consider JMU a party school after being here for 4 years. I just think that it's a scene, and if you want to get into it, it's there, but you don't have to be a part of it. It's not something that like, if you don't do it, you're not going to find a friend group or anything like that. So.
And going off of what Kayla said, technically with like the definition of a party school, any school can be categorized as a party school depending on who you look at. And so the thing about JMU is just to like, if that's a pro for you, congratulations, great for you. But like, if you want a great college with a great education, like this is the place, you know. We are so much more than just apparently a party school, you know, and so is every other school. And so I really love that we have so much more and are known for so much more than just typically being categorized as a party school. So.
All right, so we're going to wrap up with my favorite question, greatest memory of JMU. And we're going to go Chloe, Kayla, Bella, Emily, and finish it out with Ronan. So Chloe, go ahead.
My favorite memory of JMU, wow, this is a hard one. It is probably just getting into my latest and favorite organization, which is Student Ambassadors, which Isabella said was we are the tour guides on campus. We all really have a great sense of school spirit. That's why we're doing the panel here today and everything. And they just made me feel so at home at JMU. This is genuinely my home away from home. And I could see the sense of school spirit that I wasn't able to see at football games. So, and I'm so glad I get to see it now.
Yeah, so I have two, but they're really quick. One, I would have to say the very first time we got to throw streamers in the stadium, when we scored our first touchdown. That I'm also a big sports person, so having something good happen in football and then also having a tradition attached to it. I've yet to go to another football game and be impressed with their traditions. Something about that just hits different every time. My most favorite memory, I think, since then has been being able to work for Dr. Miller and seeing JMU behind the scenes. And I know, so y'all here laughing at me, but really helping JMU and being a part of all of that and seeing behind the scenes and making a difference has been really great for me, and an experience I don't think I'll ever be able to forget in my entire life. So.
My favorite experience so far at JMU sounds a little weird, but it was my freshman move out day. That was the first time that my family was able to come and meet all my friends that I had made that year, and they were able to eat at the dining hall. And it was my first opportunity to show them everything I had learned, and it really stuck with me that I was so scared to come to college, terrified that I wasn't going to be able to make friends. And then by the end of that year, I was sobbing because I didn't want to go back to my home, because JMU had just become my home away from home, like Kayla said. I had so many friends that I was so sad to leave behind. And I was like a little kid, counting down the days till move in again this year. And so that was definitely my favorite memory that I've had so far.
Yeah, kind of like Isabella, I thought I was going to have a really hard time adjusting to JMU, and it took me a while to find my fit here on campus. But when I finally did, I made an amazing group of friends, and my favorite memory in my time at JMU was actually we had a really, really big snowstorm. I think twice when I was here in December, and we would go out to the quad and make snow angels and make snowball fights, and it was just the best experience being able to have that group of friends and be able to go and take pictures and still be on campus in that once in a lifetime kind of snowstorm event. So for me, that was definitely the highlight of my time here.
Yeah, my greatest memory of my JMU experience is a little bit on the lines of Isabella's. It was just when I realized that I was comfortable here. I also was very, very scared to leave home. I didn't want to leave my family, my dogs. But, once I got here, it took me about a month and a half, and I truly felt like when I went back for Thanksgiving break, I was I'm excited to go back, to my second home. I fell in love with the campus, and yeah.
Well, I want to thank our students. They make my best memories all the time because of what they do here and how they grow and find themselves and create a better life for themselves at the end of their JMU time. Thank you all for being with us today for Virtual Choices. Thanks for rolling with my technology issues. We want to wish you luck in this process. Please know that JMU can be a great place for you if it's the right place for you, and we're here to help you make that decision. So enjoy this and enjoy the process, families, students, everybody enjoy it. It's a good road. It's a challenging road, but it's a lot of fun along the way. So thanks again to our students. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you all on campus soon. Take care.